Hey folks, Honston here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about these really cheap combination locks and how to decode them. So, how they work is you've got obviously the numbers all correspond to the gates within the lock itself. However, if you take a quick look, let me get some light here. If you look, you can see what it looks like a number where there is not a gate versus a number that there is. Those gates are what interact with these nubs, one nub for each code wheel. So, how do you decode these? The general thing you hear on YouTube is just apply tension and just kind of work your way through the wheels one at a time. Or if it's really cheap, what a couple other folks have said is just pull on it and it'll lock up on the true gate. Well, I kind of agree with that. It got me about halfway there. It got me to the point of where I was looking at this part of the lock here. The part that interfaces with the code disks themselves. So how I went about decoding this was applying... I'm just using the vise here as a... let's just say this is the frame of the of the bike. So we're going to use that for tension, because the way I first started was I tried applying a tension here and using this, and that got me nowhere. So working like this, what I did was, holding on, obviously the bike weighs more so you could pull on it, is I know it's that one, so I would apply tension, give it a wiggle, there's not much room there, move it to the next. Wiggle, not much room, move it to the next. Wiggle, move it to the next. Wiggle, next. Wiggle. Now there you kind of, with tension, when you go to move it past this disc, which there's the true gate, you'll get resistance there. So kind of see it a little bit, but the resistance really isn't all that much. Okay, now apply the same thing. Wiggle, not much room. Wiggle, not much room. Okay. Now this one, there's a lot of room. Now what you're going to want to look at is, you're going to want to look at here. You're going to want to look at how much space you get between this internal bit and the rest of the lock. Because as you get the third code disk dialed in, you'll actually, even right now, you can kind of see it's pulling out a little bit more. Versus this side, where it starts. See that distance there? So you dial in this next disk. I know it's a 6, so we're going to go this way. Now, it's going to start to get really tough to move these discs, because there's, or these, well, I'm just going to keep calling them discs, these dials, because now there's going to be even more tension on these last few discs. That's also going to be your other key indicator to tell you that you're on the right track. So, one other little tip is, for your last disc, or dial, hold it here, and just tick it over, keep doing your wiggle test. Be cognizant of the fact that these other dials will likely want to move too. Okay. There we go. And now you see there's even more space between this last dial here and the mechanism. So now we'll try to this last dial. Okay, so it's getting me nowhere. Back off the tension a little bit. You're going to have to, for the last dial to set, you're going to have to back off the tension on the lock, because now it's just pulling on this last dial. Okay, so now we'll try that wiggle test, and then we get our open. Now, it's not like there's really much for tolerances here. It's like a $2 dollar store lock. But it was very important that I learn how to decode this, because it's a family heirloom of my girlfriend's. So, in part of me learning how to decode these cheap combination locks, I figured, as well as it was a suggestion from Diggs on Lockpickers United Discord, to do a little video on decoding these locks. So, if you're interested in disc detainer lockpicking, the similar idea of doing a wiggle test on each dial or disc is the exact same thing. You're looking for the width of that true gate. The same thing kind of stands for also high security slider locks. But anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, and I guess as everybody else says, keep on the right side of the law. Bye.